Heyo everyone and welcome to a new video. So today we are going to talk about the best Pokemon for 1000 fire books. Before you just take a screenshot and leave the video and be like, oh yo, Danny said that Guzzlord is top tier, let's everybody get Guzzlord and Celebi and whatever. Before you do that, just keep in mind that I have multiple opinions according to each Pokemon, and this video is planning to talk about every Pokemon that it's over here and give you guys a little bit of insight on how they work, how they should work, how they like the future and whatever. Okay, so if you guys do enjoy my videos, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and if you want to support me even further, you can even become a member of my channel by clicking on the join button and get access to perks like custom emojis, member only videos, and other stuff. Moving on, as I was telling in the beginning of the video, this is mostly a video focused on players that cannot spend much on the game. Players that got these recent firebooks for free, they can spend a little bit more to get like 1000 firebooks and they can start choosing their first Overlord to go through their game. So this is mostly a video focused on those players and not players like that can spend way too much and like they are on the end game and whatever. But I will still talk about like the Overlords in general. First of all, we have tier 1 on Guzzlord. A lot of players could be like disagreeing with me, saying like Guzzlord is garbage, nobody uses Guzzlord anymore. But listen, for 1000 firebooks, this specific Overlord can counter a lot of things. Guzzlord is a specific Overlord that you should only be getting that if you are the kind of player that don't plan to spend like as much in the game, because it's an Overlord easy to play, really hard to kill, and Guzzlord kills basically everything that it's not steel type. If you can poison the enemy, what mostly will happen is that you will win the battle. Guzzlord alone can kill a lot of stuff. Maybe Guzzlord can lose to a well-built Overlord Mewtwo, but nothing much else, honestly. Overlord Mewtwo X, by the way. An Overlord Armor Mewtwo, obviously it would lose because it's a steel type, so Guzzlord cannot poison steel type, so it will have a hard time against those kinds of Pokemon. But against everything else, even against Hoopas, he is legit one of the best Pokemons to counter a Hoopa, if not the best Pokemon to counter a Hoopa directly, because it's extremely hard to kill if you build it with speed, HP, some crystal body on your hidden skills and other stuff, and you will just be a tank that nobody can get down. The best thing about this Pokemon, the Overlord Guzzlord, is honestly that he is a solo Pokemon. Like, playing a team with this guy doesn't usually matter as much because he's supposed to be a big boy later in the game, and he's supposed to be something that even if your team dies, he can just basically be a solo Pokemon and kill everybody else. If you want to play a team for him in the early game, usually people play with the Overlord Cresselia and Overlord Buzzwole, but even though, since we have like so much strike cards, I would honestly not even care about, I would not even care as much to get those Overlords. All of those Overlords is 1k Unishards and a bunch of diamonds and stuff. And you guys would probably be better if you invest all of those resources in Guzzlord. But of course, if you have other stuff, even if you have like a Regirock, for example, giving defenses and giving Spotlight to help your Guzzlord survive a little bit longer, it can help. There are multiple stuff that you can pair with Guzzlord. He's supposed to be like a one-man army. So, Armor Mewtwo, I mean, not Armor Mewtwo, Resonance Mewtwo, Overlord Mewtwo X, damn, so many names. Overlord Mewtwo X is supposed to be a fighting type Pokemon that it will play on a fighting team, usually with a Cobalion and a Virizion. It depends, like, so Cobalion is usually the most picked Pokemon when you want to build a fighting team, not only because of his passive justified ability giving defenses and skill power to your Overlord Mewtwo X, but also because of the second ability Sacrifice, that once Cobalion dies, it will give permanent buffs to the Pokemons that are still alive. If you want to get a different type of a third different Pokemon instead of Cobalion, of course you can go for multiple things. Even if you want Honestly, this might sound a little bit crazy, but even if you want to get an Overlord Victini, that way it would increase your crit damage as well. And that way you could focus more on the defensive aspect of Overlord Mewtwo X. But the most advised and most commonly played team is with double sacrifices like Virizion, Cobalion, Terrakion, etc. Moving on, going to Overlord Lugia. Why am I putting Overlord Lugia on tier 1? One simple thing. Since I said in the beginning of the video, this is a video that is supposed to be focused more to players that cannot spend much on the game. So Overlord Lugia, it's a kind of Pokemon that if you pair it with the other cheap overlords that I talked in a video about yesterday, which is Overlord Latios and Latias, Overlord Lugia is a very cheap Pokemon to play with. It's just 1k books, it will do a lot of damage, and it will help you a lot on dungeons, elite dungeons, master dungeons. It will help you a lot through the course of your game, easily to clearing all the dungeons as fast as possible, so that you can unlock more stuff. Overlord Ho-Oh, for those who already played against an Overlord Ho-Oh, early game, early mid and beginnings of late game, he can still be played as an attacker. And even though one of the downsides of this Pokemon is that this Pokemon, to be at his best, he needs Skill Breakthrough. And Skill Breakthrough on this version, on the English version, it's really hard, it's really expensive. But Overlord Ho-Oh is a Pokemon that even without Skill Breakthrough, he can be a beast and very annoying to deal with a bunch of damage reduction, a bunch of damage on his flying move, and also, so his flying move also deals a lot of damage, his Cyclone attack, but also has a bunch of Reaper damage on his other skills. So, Overlord Ho-Oh, also an awesome Pokemon to get, helping if you already have like another attacker in your team, and if you want to add Ho-Oh, it would be awesome. Ho-Oh would do a lot. Now, tier 2, I'm going to put Celebi over here, even though I could low-key put Celebi on tier 1, but I'm going to explain that Overlord Celebi, it's an awesome Pokemon, but you guys should not get it. I know this doesn't seem to make sense, but mostly is. Overlord Celebi is an awesome buffer. It works in basically any team, has like a lot of like buffs, especially for making your psychic Pokemon move again, and grass type, but nobody cares about grass type, let's be honest. But it's a buffer that works on any team, especially now with the secret techniques or the bondings with the X or Z skills, the dream ability and stuff. But the thing is, this Pokemon is mostly used, or can be mostly used, in people that have like super high power, because they can afford Ho-Oh sets for Celebi, so Celebi has like a bigger chance to play and stuff. And if you cannot afford too many fire books, and if you are going to spend 1000 fire books on a buffer, it's something that it's probably not the best idea. Overlord Zygarde is a very solid Pokemon, okay. If you would be thinking like for the future getting a resonance, like if you think to yourself like, maybe now I get an Overlord and in the future I could get the resonance, Zygarde could be a decent option, even though it's not the things that I advise the most. It would be only if you really like the Pokemon, because Resonance Zygarde, to be at his best, is a Pokemon that requires a lot of resources to maintain in the end game, okay? But it's indeed a beast Pokemon. Even just the Overlord itself, you guys can play him with like a Groudon if you have, or an Arceus with a ground plate. So, or even the Ho-Oh, just to keep the Zygarde alive, you know. So while your Zygarde is stacking up the stamina, where is the Overlord? It's over here. So while his Zygarde is stacking up the stamina, getting all of these defenses, you could use Pokemons to help your Zygarde out, like putting a Spotlight or a Groudon over there, or even like in the future, getting Earth Devil would also help out. So, or if you want to go for the cheapest option, honestly, Sacrifice Pokemon is always the cheapest option to put with an attacker. Even though they are easily countered later in the game, they're usually the cheapest option. On tier 2, still I have Overlord Thunderous. Overlord Thunderous because honestly it's a very nice Pokemon. It does a lot of Reaper damage and honestly just it's another solo Pokemon that has access to Safeguard. And also, yeah, he does a lot of damage just by himself. The downside is it's a Pokemon that does not have any skill that removes the debuffs, if I'm not wrong. But it's a Pokemon that also just decreases a lot of rage for the enemy, so it can be very annoying. You can play it in a flying team with like an Overlord Tornadoes and a Rayquaza, or you can play I said Overlord Tornadoes because I was thinking about the future. Right now there's Overlord Tornadoes in the Chinese version, so it might come up in the future, but ignore the Overlord part, okay? So Thunder is in the flying team with Tornadoes and Ray, or maybe just in an electric team with Overlord Tapu Koko and something else as a third member. The third member is always very situational. On tier 3 we have my beloved Riko. Riko, why is my Riko tier 3, you guys ask? Like, oh, should you put it higher? Well, yes, but no. Riko is a Pokemon that really needs an electric team. While Overlord Thunders, for example, can do a lot of damage by himself, Riko really needs a team to support him, especially Overlord Tapu Koko. So it will be something more expensive to scale in the game. Overlord Deoxys is not something I recommend. I have it on tier 3 because with the held items it could be decent, but not, and there's even like secret abilities and dream abilities and whatever coming soon for Deoxys, but it's not a Pokemon I recommend because held item is freaking expensive. Okay, so it's not something I recommend. Overlord Rayquaza, I want to low-key put Rayquaza over here, like in a higher tier, but for now Rayquaza has to stay over here. One of the ideas that I would have is having Rayquaza playing with Eon Duo, since Eon Duo, Rayquaza on his, come over here, Rayquaza on his dragon attack, you guys can see that increases all allied dragon type action points. So basically every time Rayquaza uses his ultimate, it would make Overlord Latias and Latias move. So I believe that Overlord Rayquaza could be like a tier 2 Pokemon, but since there are two things that are letting me behind, one of the things is like we don't have enough information yet. Even though he has like an awesome dream ability, reducing the shields and the guardian souls and stuff, we don't have much information yet because number 2, he's an expensive Pokemon to build, because in order to play him at his best, he really needs a skill breakthrough, especially the passive to remove the buffs from the enemy as soon as he enters the battle. If you get the passive on Ray, you're good to go. Okay, let's go moving on tier 4. Tier 4 we have Diancie and Zeraora. I mean, Diancie can be nice in a fairy team. It also has a bunch of secret abilities and dream ability now that Diancie got recently, but honestly, the problem is Diancie gets one-shotted by a lot of the stuff that it's above him over here. So a lot of the things that are on the above tiers can easily counter Diancie. And the problem is, in order to play Diancie the best, you would also need to get an Overlord Tapu Fini, so you would need the fairy team, which would be very expensive to build, and in the end, we're not even sure if Diancie is actually worth it. The fairy lightsaber, the dream ability, seems very nice and very promising. Since she has access to heavy armor, she can have access to stamina, so it seems like to be a tank that it will deal damage, and it's a very nice Pokemon for early game. If you have a Diancie, and if you have a Mega Diancie, you guys know that it's a really decent Pokemon in your early game. But later in the game, not as much, at least not yet, okay? Then we have Zeraora. Zeraora is like the same reason for Celebi, but it's a worse option, which basically means like Zeraora can be good as Overlord, but the problem is like electric team, no, not at all. It's like you would spend 1,000 books for a Pokemon that it's supposed to be a buffer and nothing else. Tier 5. Tier 5 we have multiple Pokemon. So we have this Mewtwo Y, which honestly people have been trying to use this Mewtwo Y, but honestly doesn't feel as good. And then we have Black and White and Overlord Solgaleo and Overlord Lunala. Even though, Black and White, they need to be together to be decent, and even when being together, it's 800 books each one, and they are not good. Black and White is only good on Resonance. And about Solgaleo and Lunala, Solgaleo and Lunala can do some stuff. They are really tanky, like at the start of the battle. They buff each other very well, but you have two downsides. One downside is that you would kinda need to invest on both for the team to be good. The second downside is just that they don't do enough damage. According to a friend of mine, which is Bokura, they just don't do enough damage. And even with the hidden skills, even with, like, not the hidden skills, like with the third ability, dream ability, secret technique, it's like, it does make them better. Yes, it does make them slightly better, but kinda is like when you make garbage a little bit better, is just, you know, just a shinier version of garbage. That's why I have a picture over here of this, so this can go away now. So yeah. And now, finally, about our Overlord Pikachu that is here on the S tier. This, I'm only talking about this last because it's the best one. And I mean, if you guys are probably wondering, well, if it's the best one, why didn't you not talk about this early? It's because I wanted to keep the surprises for the end. So, Overlord Pikachu is, in my opinion, a really underrated Pokemon. A lot of players already like saw the abilities and started to check him out, but nobody has actually like played the Pikachu. So I'm going to show like an example over here of a Pikachu in battle. So very big thanks to Five for sending me these clips and testing a Pikachu. Pikachu Overlord, one of the things that he has is like he can copy the enemy stats and get a little bit extra, specifically like speed and special attack. He will just get a little bit extra of the enemy's stats for his own. So in most of the cases, this Pikachu will attack first, it will have a ton of special attack, and it has huge skill power. One of the Ashachu's like big problem would be the hit rate. Like a normal Ashachu does a lot of damage, but usually doesn't have that much hit rate. So I'm going to show another clip over here that Fi did send to me, which is Pikachu against Black and White. Let's keep a little bit further. So okay, this Pikachu against Black and White. So this is a 58 million team. Even though it's not the highest quality, it's already good enough for you guys to understand. So Pikachu, as you guys can see, starting the battle with 1.5 million. Wait, is that 1.5 million speed? No way. That's actually 1.5 million speed. Holy. Because it not only copied and got boost from his enemy speed, but also activated the Quick Claw, also has the speed boost ability. So this guy will just attack a billion times for no reason, kinda. It's not for no reason, it's because of how the Pokemon works. And it does deal a lot of damage. It can be a top tier Pokemon. We put Pikachu way above everybody else. Can it kill a Guzzlord? I am not sure if it can kill a Guzzlord because Guzzlord is actually super tanky, but can kill a lot of top tier Pokemon for sure. And finally, let's check this Pikachu against Lugia. Of course, oh, this one is much better quality. Of course, like against Lugia, there's nothing much to say, right? Lugia is countered by electric Pokemon. So we see the Pikachu is going to attack the Earth Devil, took down the Earth Devil, and then like when he's going to attack Lugia, Lugia decided to attack Tapu Koko for some reason. But now that Pikachu is going to, and like his attacks also ignore defenses, which is why he also deals like so much damage. If you guys go and take a moment to read the book on your Pokemon and go and read your Overlord Pikachu. Try and read all the abilities and all the stuff. See how much good stuff he has. As I was telling you guys, in battle, if any Pokemon releases an electric type skill, increases his speed and special attack. When he joins the battle, he copies 20% of the special attack and 50% speed of the Pokemon with the highest attributes of the battle. So, even though some of his skills are not working according to what Fi told me that, for example, the Z Iron Tail, I believe, it's not ignoring the Guardian Souls. Even though some skills are not working properly, he's already a huge Pokemon. He's already doing a lot of stuff by his own. So, as you guys can see exactly the honest opinion of Fi, since he played with Pikachu a lot, and he is a high power player, so he can have a really solid opinion on this. So he said that he did 10 CL battles with Pikachu versus different players. I think I lost 1 or 2. One of them was versus Black and White, because Z still did not ignore Guardian Shields like it should, so Thunder Black and White should took the turn and dance. Also, one of his skills gives slight action to allies, works weird, and I think it has a chance based on sometimes it gives, sometimes it not. So overall, he's very fun to play as a single target Pokemon with different set of skills, and his passive can make you guarantee the first turn versus same speed or slightly faster Pokemon. However, I don't think he's super high level. I think he may be same as Resonance Riko if we compare it like that. As for the team that I used, Overlord Tapu Koko and Detective Pikachu, but Zeraora is probably better, or he says it's better, because since Pikachu gives action points, give action points to allies, so Zeraora can just make everybody move again and give back the action points. So, ITBL, I'm not sure what ITBL means, can be Pika's, this is like, a team can be Pikachu, Zeraora, Tapu Koko, or Pikachu, Zeraora, Overlord Celebi with OP Secret. Because, of course, as I told you guys about Celebi earlier, has a lot of very nice secret abilities. So yeah, this is it about all of the Overlords. I really hope you guys enjoyed, even though this was mostly an explanation about Overlord Pikachu right in the end. But I really hope you guys enjoyed and really understand the Overlords right now. By the way, big thanks to all of the players that helped me out, like even with either opinions or just suggestions. Big thanks to Bokura, Serpaz, Karthik, and Fi, because they did contribute directly or indirectly with making this video. This is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a link to my Facebook page and Discord server below if you guys want to join. And also, if you guys need an account consulting, just message me. All the links are in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next video.
Press